umbrella, or just it's a few different. Not really, just anyway. Yeah, I remember I hear back Umbrella Academy nearly all the time, and about the news about it and everything else. And since it's been released for like over a week now, I might as well make my review video on it. So yeah. Season 3 was weird, but it was actually alright for something that took a few years, 2 years to release. So I'll kind of get into the story about it. Now, the opening did kind of confuse me, cause in the normal timeline for the travel to 1963, but you understand why this changed when I say later. 43 women gave birth mysteriously because they weren't pregnant at first, but in this new timeline, only 16 gave birth, and 7 were chosen for the academy, and we see a montage of them growing up, and yeah, aka Marcus, Ben, Faye, Alfonso, Sloane, Jamie and Christopher. Now, when the Umbrellas get into the new academy, the building, when you think they're about to fight, Marcus, number 1 in the Sparrow Academy, starts doing a dance. Now, you think if he's number 1, he would maybe really dancing when people just invading his home. Well, he didn't really. Jimmy's power, number 6, which we didn't really know of, some people thought it was going to be the same as Alison's power, is actually to spit a hallucinate venom or something. I don't know how it fully works. I don't know if it's like spit this venom on like your victim, it will show them the like dreams or like, something. I don't really know, but she's used her power on Diego, and Diego imagines them all dancing and actually having a good time. When that's all over, the new Ben, Sparrow Ben, punches Klaus, because Klaus was kind of getting all close up and just saying things, I guess. And by that, kind of starts a fight when Lothar kind of tells him he didn't have to do that, and kind of starts a fight with Marcus, and then everyone gets involved and we see more of everyone's powers. Now, the powers I talked about have obviously a little bit different than the books, all 3 books that I've got, so I'll explain. Marcus's power is, well, basically the same as Luther's, except I think he's a little bit more powerful, as well. Yeah, I just think he is. Number 2, Ben is the same. Now number 3 is Faye. In the books, or in the end of Hotel Oblivion book, her power is a little bit different in how it works. Probably because of the way it would look in the show. In the book, the character that we don't actually know the name of, but it's Faye, that is the power in the show. In the comics, she can turn into a flock of sparrows, or ravens or crows or whatever. In the show though, it's actually kind of a little bit better. She can't turn into them, we don't think, but she uses them to see, since her eyes have been, I think, plucked out of her. So yeah, her eyes have been plucked out, and she uses them to see. And well, she can kind of control them, but there is a downfall to the power. Let's just say one bird or something, raven or whatever, is getting choked by Ben because it's standing right still and doesn't have enough time to move. She will feel the pain as well of that, like, sparrow bird or raven or whatever bird that is. Sorry, I keep checking that. Number 4 is Alfonso. He has the power to, well, it's almost like a voodoo kind of thing, though it's kind of different in here. Difference is, Season 3 was all about pretty much the sparrows and mostly actually Umbrella, which is kind of wasted. Whereas in the book that the sparrows are in, they're only in it for like a few pages. It's not like their main kind of story. They are coming up with a 4th book though, with however many. Oh, this does contain spoilers, this video. So, yeah. And yeah, it's all kind of different. So, Alfonso, number 4, his power in the comics is, I don't really know if this is how, I don't really know if this is how it properly works, but we see him kind of stab himself, and that pain can go on to enemies that, oh yeah, so he stabs himself and that pain will go on to enemies. Now, in the, well, you know, show, I don't know if his power works differently or I'm just seeing things, probably not. When someone hits him most of the time, when he's like properly ready to fight, number 3 in Kate Allison, he told her to punch him in the face. Done that, but that backfired onto her instead of him. But just like phase power, there is a backfire. He has to have his inhaler with him. If he doesn't, then his power will not just work, as it was shown with Diego. They're fighting the shop. Although, yeah. Number 5 is Sloane. Now, her power is probably the best out of them all. Her power is kind of new because we haven't really seen it in the comics, I don't think. She can manipulate gravity in different ways. We do see her do that quite a lot. So her power is probably the best out of all the sparrows. Well, one of the best. Right. So yeah, she can make food float, people float. Yeah. And now we skip number 6 because we've already said it at the start. We move on to Christopher, number 7. Now, I do remember a theory video about how Victor, because he wasn't one of the Umbrella Academy members, because he wasn't one of the Umbrella Academy members in the original timeline, that is how Ben kinda died. Now, we didn't really get that kinda confirmed at all. It wasn't actually true. But we have heard of the Jennifer incident, which was something that Sparrow Ben and probably Umbrella Ben, yep, both of them were probably the cause of one's death. Now, Christopher, we don't really know why he is a cube, but I have some sort of weird theory. Now, we got a flashback in one of the episodes, Marigold, which I'll explain what that is. It's not what you think it is. that is a pow. No, sorry. It's like the opening of the episode shows Pogo, because we've seen him, this spoil, in the last scene of episode 5. Right, this is a really big spoiler coming up. This kind of explains nearly everything now. There is a scene where they're like going to spar, and their objective is to kind of like kick the bell away on the ground, and Ben and Jamie are the ones that are fighting. So the fight kind of goes on. Jamie ultimately wins, but Ben nearly does. Now, how this ties into everything, I'll explain in a minute. Now, and this was in 2014, this sparring thing, right? So this was 5 years. So, I don't know what Bells would be doing at that point, but yeah. 2014. We see 6 of them. 6 Sparrow members. Only 6. Marcus, Ben, Faye, Alfonso, Jamie and Sloan. Sloan and Jamie in order. We do not see Christopher anywhere. And when Pogo leaves, here's why he left. Reginald adopted 7 kids deliberately for his ultimate mission to reset the universe. Now, he resetted the universe because in Season 1, Episode 10, we see his wife died, or was dying. Reginald obviously sends out Marigold around wherever his home planet is now. Yeah, so he needs 7 kids because of what we call the 7 bells. 7 kids, 7 bells. Now, interesting enough, this is a big spoiler, the 7 kids that were put on the bells in the season were not all of the Sparrow Academy. Let me explain. When the Umbrella Academy travelled to 63, they changed the timeline a lot, but none of that would have really mattered if they stopped changing it before the meeting with Reginald or something else. Now, in the meeting they explain about all their powers. They don't mention Ben. That's probably the reason why he got chosen. Now, I'm not saying that may be the only reason, there's another reason. When Victor meets Sissy in Harlan, and Harlan kind of drowns in like the river, and Victor kind of brings him back to life, he transfers some of his powers onto Harlan, so they have a mental connection kind of with each other. But Victor takes his powers away back to himself. That doesn't work much, because at the end of Season 2, Episode 10, where Sissy's traveling to California, Harlan can make a toy sparrow or bird float in his hand. Now, I originally thought we weren't going to see him again, Harlan, but we did. This is a big spoiler, I might as well change the description of the video. We see, after the... I don't really remember what scene it was a scene though. It was when Grace sees the Cuckoo Blitz. We see an old man. His name is revealed to be Lester Hockett. Now, once he's packing what seems to be a suitcase with sandwiches for all the different days of the week for some reason, his hands start to shake like a vibration. Now, I was sure that this was Harlan for a few different reasons. all the tapes that he had. No, wait, that's kind of stupid. Right. Basically, in season 3, episode 3, right. Season 3, episode 1, Marcus dies to the Kugel Blitz, which will explain why the Kugel Blitz is there soon. He dies to Kugel Blitz while Victor and Marcus have a meeting at a cafe. Don't know if this is the same one that Victor and Lena were at. The deal was, if Victor was going to make his next move and call Marcus out for a fight when his busload of fans show up, what I mean by that is Marcus, for some reason, I don't know if it's every day, does this acrobatic king, like the rooftop of the academy back in the second, which is random, yeah. But yeah, I guess it's just something he does because he's maybe the most athletic one of them all. Because he's number 1. Yeah. Now, here's another spoiler that it kind of matters, it kind of doesn't. Ben throughout the season focused on really a few things. But one of them was him becoming number 1 again. Let me explain. Remember how I told you 16 mothers gave birth? Ben was probably the first one that Reginald found out of there's 15 others he could have got. Yes, keep in mind I said 16, you'll understand why. Now, after Marcus went down to the basement or something to get the briefcase that Grace probably took off the table. Instead finds Grace standing next to the Kugelblitz, this German for a black hole, or some sort of black hole. Marcus goes up to it and pretty much touches it, and then a Kugel wave happens, that's what they call it. That is when a wave kinda comes out the Kugelblitz, and this causes people to disappear from existence. Now, there's something ironic about the Kugelblitz. You understand what it is. Now, or it's just a coincidence. After Marcus died, Ben kinda acts like he cares, wanting to know where Marcus is, and he presumes that the Umbrellas took Marcus because Victor was last seen with him. Now, here's the confusing thing I didn't understand. While Ben, Faye, Alison and Victor were all standing outside the big garden bit where Reginald was having his funeral thing, and that went south, Ben said he warned Marcus that he shouldn't listen to the Umbrellas. When did Ben get the time to say that if Marcus was last seen with them? I don't know if Marcus was thinking of talking to them maybe after the running in the treadmill scene, which was random. Now, they make a deal with Alison Hargreaves this season was the worst out of them all. We've seen a few reasons why. Because Claire does not exist. Now you understand why when I speak. So she becomes kind of upset and everything because she's lost her daughter and she's lost her husband in this timeline. Yeah, Raymond's dead from old age, I'm guessing. I think it was. Died at 82 or something. So yeah. So she kind of lies, saying that, oh, we've got Marcus, basically kind of asking to die. They make a deal with Ben makes a deal with the Umbrella, saying, if you give us the briefcase, we'll give you Marcus. Although they don't have Marcus, that was just to get the briefcase off them. And the Sparrows don't have the briefcase. Why do they not have the briefcase? Because Lila returns in this season. She needs the briefcase to get to Berlin, 1989. Yeah. Her briefcase doesn't work that she found from 1989, the Berlin Wall being smashed, that the handler hid the briefcase and, well, obviously wanted Lila to find it. She had like a letter in it and everything. She saw a video of her getting shot in the heart by her adoptive mother, handler. But anyways, her briefcase doesn't work. Her briefcase doesn't work. And neither does Five's briefcase that she uses Sloane's power to get up to a rooftop, and she uses Faye's power to get the briefcase. That briefcase doesn't work either. None of them do. There only is two. Yeah. So, Season 3, Episode 3. Oh, I forgot one thing. The Sparrows kind of kidnapped Luther because you took on number 1, we took you, and it kind of goes really weird. Because Luther says, oh, the Sparrows almost got way better than us because they have this fancy gym and everything. And kind of, becomes in love with Sloane, number 5. Because, funny story, I don't know if this is how, Luther is getting his ass handed to him by Marcus, and Sloane kind of knocked Victor up and like where Grace in the artwork was, and since she was there, she said, Luther, no, and then that gives Luther a chance to escape from them, and instead she's the next target. That didn't end so well for the Sparrows as well. She kind of launched them like into walls and everything. Apart from Marcus, who was too busy doing something else to even help. I have no idea. So, yeah. Then Luther's like walking away, fixing his back and everything. He senses someone like behind him and kind of whacks Sloane. Wow. And then Luther says, oh, I'm so sorry, oh shit. Hi, I'm Luther. Your family tried to kill me, but you're different, wow. Now, yeah. Yeah, we can move on. But, yeah, he gets let go from the Sparrows with his heart. And, yeah. That went well. Now, Season 3, Episode 3 comes along. Oh, and we get introduced to Lila and Diego's son. It's not really theirs. That's a spoiler. I'm gonna change the title of this video. Called Stan. It's played by Javon Walton. But yeah. So yeah, Diego meets his son, not really his, as I've said again, yeah. Right, Season 3, Episode 3, all 6 Sparrows, because, well, Marcus is dead, goes to Hotel Obsidian's where the Umbrellas are staying. Not everyone, though, is at the Hotel Obsidian from the Umbrellas. 5 travelled all the way to the Commission, and Klaus was away. somewhere visiting, well, Reggie, his father, some father. Yeah, Ben kinda, like, the deal kinda doesn't go on, then Sparrows get ready to attack the umbrellas with using Christopher as kinda like the way to get them on the ground. Now, I don't know what power Christopher used. He actually has an art power that we haven't talked about. Well, I don't know if it's a power, it's something to do with him. Now, that it's like this kind of red. I don't know if this is like paralyzing something, or this is like in fear inducement. Yeah, it's like a red bolt of like red lines or something. Now, they're all about to die because Faith sends out or sparrows or whatever. Their pocket saves them by using his powers and kinda kills Jamie and Alfonso because they were the two closest to him. Saves them. Ben, Faith, and Christopher and Sloan survive. Both of them kind of saves them. Yeah. Now, Victor realises this must be Harlan because, right, explain why. Episode 4 opens up with like a montage and it starts right where Harlan, it's like season 2 ended. Shows them moving into all these different, this house with Sissy's new girlfriend that isn't Victor. It's probably Harlan's birthday. He gets a rabbit. The rabbit bites him. He uses his powers to blow up the rabbit by accident, as it seems. Now, I don't know if that's what causes them to move house. Probably because Sissy's girlfriend was devastated at that. But yeah, they moved to Oregon, and Harlan kind of gets bullied by a bunch of older kids at school. I don't know if it's maybe because of his father being like shot or something, or to do with like Kennedy and all that. Because you understand why he's on the ground getting beat up, and then he uses his powers to send everyone in the ground. Now they have to move again to somewhere else. I don't remember where it was. It was California again. Well, no, I think it was, I don't know. And we see that Sissy's getting sick. I don't know if it's from moving all the time, but yeah. They move like 4 or 3 times after that, and then it stops at 1989. Now, listen to this. The day is October 1st, 1989. The day the 43 children were born. Sissy's in the hospital and dying from cancer or something, right? Because she's like old and she's like, aye. She dies right at the moment the 43 children are about to give birth. What does this do exactly? Well, the reason the Kugel Blitz is in the universe is because the Umbrella Academy shouldn't exist in this universe. Now, they shouldn't exist because Harlan couldn't control his powers that good at that point in age as well. Whatever age he was, maybe like 40 or 30, right? Sorry, I'm checking. So what he does is, his powers have obviously been kind of changed at some point, or something's happened, right? After Sissy dies, he can't really control his power. That split second, we see like this orangey, bluey, yellowy beam, or like eyes light up, and something else happens to a nurse and I don't know if it's like a police officer or something, security guard, like go up to him nearly, and then this thing does the same thing, I'm guessing, that happened to Jamie and Alfonso. What happens is, his power is connected to all the 43 mothers. He could sense, he thought Victor was trying to connect with him again after all these years. It was actually their mothers, because Victor has the same stuff the mother's had, like, inside of him. Which means Victor killed all of the Umbrella's mothers. But, which 7 of them, or 6, if you really want to count that. I don't really know. It's complicated. It's complicated. But he also kills a lot of other mothers. He kills 27 mothers in total and leaves 16 alive. Now we only know 7 of these 16 mothers so far. 4, 6, yeah. And we probably won't know the rest of them after the ending. So, yeah. They shouldn't exist because they didn't get a chance. The Umbellas weren't born because their mothers were dead. Oh yeah, and Klaus actually was probably the best this season. He went out to find his birth mother, and turns out, well, she died October 1st, 1989, before he was born. And ends up finding his mum's sister, who says she died from a brain hemorrhage. But when he's running for everyone else, Klaus is running for everyone else that is kind of like chasing him with probably like pitchforks and everything. His mum's sister gives him this book saying that Rachel's death was unusual and she wasn't the only one. Rachel's mother. Now, yeah, that kind of becomes a problem for Klaus and all that, but yeah, I'm fine, but so yeah, Hugo Blitz is kind of, you know, evolving, you know, getting bigger and all that, killing and more people. Now, I think the reason why the Umbrella Academy want like Hugo Blitz like really early is because they're the ones that kind of created it and they're like the last victims of it. They can only die when the world kind of dies. Now, here's the interesting thing, right? Klaus is immortal now. He has died around 56 more times and came back. He masters his immortality powers, practices with Reggie, catching a ball and then getting run over by cars, seeing how getting faster, like getting back to the real world. He does this when Stan accidentally shoots a gun at him while they're looking in the Buffalo Suite, which is the room that Reginald was once in the Hotel Obsidian, all the way like these years ago as well. He's an alien, so he lives really long. Now, when Stan needs help pulling like the bullet out of like this wall thing, Dago helps him obviously. It's revealed to be a hidden door. They don't notice it until Stan goes missing. What's on the other side of the door is Hotel Oblivion, as that's what they call it. Dago and Lila go in there. Dago loses 2 of his fingers in the process, due to like the gods that they have to fight. Doesn't die, but yeah. So, yeah. Harlan and Victor and all that kinda go on a like they try a power kind of thing. Now, Harlan tries to get his powers back to Victor because it's his originally. It works due to some sort of power transference thing. Not the thing he done in 63, but yeah. Alison Hargreaves goes there with them. But something happened with her as well. The first time Victor and Harlan tried that, not in 63, but it was a different time. Harlan kind of creates like this force field around them, or some sort of field around them, and it expands, or Allison tries to step in it, glow yellow, and when I think she's thinking of something negative to say, or like to say, stop, it's too much, she doesn't have to say, I heard a rumour, she can just say it now. So the rumour thing's basically Carla's powers for Spiral Academy in the Hotel Oblivion book. But yeah, she doesn't stop them a second time, but Harlan thinks Allison knows about the mothers when Harlan kinda knows that Allison doesn't like him. It's not because of that, it's because it's like something today where, oh, I don't like the whole job of my brother. And she didn't know about the mothers, because Vic never told them. And Alison Hargreaves gets really mad at him, said, you obliterated my daughter. You obliterated my daughter. And kind of kills him in an agreement to work with the Sparrows to stop the Kugel Blitz. Now, here's the thing. I don't think Alison Hargreaves would be the daughter of Claire in the first, well, to be fair, she may have. But at the same time, you know you wouldn't be able to live a normal life if you were the mother anyway. You'd have to face yourself. Because Alison Hargreaves, at any point during school, could have said, I heard a rumour, if she still existed in the Spiral timeline by accident, and she'd figure out she had powers. Now, that would do something. But yeah, so Allison kills Harlan, and the Spirals and Umbrellas work together. This doesn't end well for Allison and Victor's relationship, because Allison gets mad that Victor lied to her face about it, and it kind of goes into a whole argument about it. Allison uses her powers on Victor, like Victor used his powers on Allison. It's weird because, well, it's Victor now, not Vanya. But yeah. Right, so the plan is to stop the Kugel Blitz, or to get rid of it, is to make a Dyson Spear. We need 4 people for that. We need 4 people for that, and you're lucky they had them. Christopher, Sloan, Lila, and Victor. So Sloan uses her gravity powers, I think, to kind of make the Kugel Blitz smaller. Oh, I don't know. Lila and Victor make like the spear around it, and to contain it, Christopher, this is how I was talking about, can split himself up to many, loads of many pieces of himself, which I think explains all the cracks on him, and kind of contains the Dyson Sphere in him, and done it in the nick of time, because the next Kugel wave was going to happen, and, well, it seemed to be fine. They'll have a big party. Luthor marries Sloan, or gets engaged. Lila tells Dago that she's pregnant. At that point, that wasn't a lie. Oh yeah, Stan gets school blitzed. That's depressing. And Five and Victor have a conversation now. Faye and Ben and Christopher were all just chilling because they're all in. Sloan and Luthor were getting engaged. They were just talking about, Faye says, oh, we should kill them now, we don't really have any need for them. But Ben made a deal with Dad about the umbrellas. I don't really know what the deal was, but we don't know. Maybe they explained that. So, Faye kind of gets angry, stands up and says, no, we don't recognise your authority anymore. You're a terrible leader. No what. But Faye says to Christopher, here's a new life without this D-head dickhead. But Faye, because Christopher can't, like, kind of drink or hold a glass, Faye taps Christopher with the glass. That must have caused something to happen, because next thing you know, Christopher's shaking, breaking apart, and explodes, killing Faye on the spot. And I'm surprised how Ben didn't die. He was on the ground right next to the Kugelblitz, but somehow survived. 5 teleports to Ben in the nick of time. And yeah, they're kind of floating up in the air, I think. Now, here's the interesting thing about what happens. The next episode is all about stuff. And how Wither and Sloan are going to get married somewhere. Now, they'll have a good time, start dancing and everything. But since Alison and Victor kind of had an argument at the wedding about how, oh, Victor, if you screwed up our relationship because you wanted to be close and everything, she goes somewhere and yeah, 5 starts to not feel good and kind of goes to get something to eat. In the process, falls to the ground, and here's Reginald talking to someone about making a deal with them, because he obviously wants to save the universe or reset it. We don't know who it is. 5 doesn't know who it is. It's talking to, but yeah. Episode 9, they all kind of make a choice that's voted. Go to the other side where Diego and Lila went, or kind of embrace the apocalypse and die and see the other side. No. The votes went against going to the other side and just let them all die. But this causes something to happen. Luther voted to stay with Sloan, so we don't know what we're going up against. Luther sees Reginald in a room, just sitting there. Reginald hugs Luther, saying, do you forgive me for all the stuff I put you through? Shouldn't have done that, because next thing you know, Reginald kills Luther. The reason he's done this is to everyone to kind of get revenge on the thing that killed him, and thinking it was the other side because he was killed right next to where the door was. And when they're all sad about that, the Kugelblitz is kind of reached total obsidian and kind of destroying the place. Yeah. So they all go to the other side, not knowing what's going to happen, but Klaus Reginald kind of blocked Klaus out. I don't really remember why he just did. Father idiot. So what does Klaus do? Well, he is immortal. He can come back to life. So what he does is, instead of being a victim of the Kugelblitz, he kind of impales himself like Victor done to Pogo on the White Buffalo Street. And like, I don't know what it was, like a goat horn or something, so he can come back to life. Yeah. What happens is, let me think actually. I think the real reason why Klaus got killed is because they don't really need him now, because there's only 7 people that they all need for the bells. That I don't know if that's true, I don't think it is. So what's left is, who's left is Diego, which is 1, Lila 2, Alison 3, Sloan 4, 5, 6, Ben, and 7, Victor. Yeah. Well, so yeah, there's 6 of them left, I think. Yeah, there's 7 there. There's 7 there, right? So they all get into teams and go find any secret like things in walls or anything. 5 knows because something Victor said before Sloan found Luther's body or something. Said, "Oh, it's weird that Alison always apologised to me and said he wanted to go 10 rounds with me yesterday, the day of the wedding." 5 sees this as a suspicion that Reginald made a deal with Alison, and yeah. So keep checking, right? So yeah. 5 knows about this and kinda, because Reginald put everyone into groups. Sparrows go together, and 5 and Victor go together, and well, Diego and Lila would always go together. But 5 and Alison would go with Reginald. That changes when 5 asks Alison to go with them and Victor, so they can't get up to anything else. Which does work, but problem is, they kinda get into a whole argument, 5 and Alison and all that, saying, "Oh, I'm sick of you assuming that I made a deal with Dad and your lies and everything." So this means that they'll kinda split up. Alison goes first, like walks out. 5 disappears into a circle, and it reveals that the hotel's kind of alive. They all kind of get split up for each other, apart from Alison and Victor at some point. Alison gets hurt, Victor saves her, and well, yeah, the guard kind of busts down the door that the place that they're in. They have to kind of go through separate doors, and they're split up. Diego locks Lila in a closet because he doesn't want the child to get hurt. Unborn child, you know. So yeah, and Ben and Sloan bump into 5, and then, well, yeah, they're, you know, Victor's walking around corridors trying to find Alison and goes past Lila in the locked kind of closet thing. Lila mimics her power to break out. And then they team up, basically like in season 2 episode 10, where they use like the sound blasts or whatever you want to call them, sound wave things, against each other. They do it together to stop the monster thing. Now, after that, everyone kind of meets up together, and Klaus comes back to life at some point. Well, Luther and Klaus in the afterlife, fighting and eating pizzas and watching TV. Luther can't come back to life, though, but Klaus can still summon him a little bit, so yeah. When Klaus comes back to life, he kinda says how Dad killed them all and everything, and yeah. Then after that, when they are speaking and arguing, 5 finds... Now, I forgot to mention this. When 5 gets the commission, they have to go to the operations bunker, because that is in the book when when a Kugel Blitz is happening or the grandfather paradox, go to the operations bunker. The CEO is in there. Now, 5 kind of gets symptoms of paradox psychosis, and it turns out 5 was the CEO or the founder of the commission. He meets his 100-year-old self and sees that he has a tattoo of Pogo. Now, Pogo obviously hasn't done that tattoo yet, but 5 finds him and kinda gets the tattoo done early, I think. I don't actually know now. The weird thing is, the 5 that we see, the 101-year-old one, is missing an armour, like part of an arm. And 5, that when, after we got the tattoo and everything, kinda found the, like, sigil, like, there's 7 things people need to stand on, and everything. And yeah. When he's going to explain that, the last guard, like, comes, like, jump out of another floor, and that kind of cuts 5's hand off, or something. So, somehow, that 100-year-old 5 is the same one we see in Season 3, Episode 10. But, all the superpowers, this fight this thing, but it kind of fails miserably until they're all knocked out. Well, apart from Sloane. Klaus kind of dies again because Reginald kind of knocked him out, but not the same way as he got locked out. Sloane is probably about to die at this rate because her powers are kind of failing because she's hurt, I think, or she's tired. Klaus summons Luther to save her. Doesn't actually kill the guard, it just pushes him on the ground. And that saves her. Now, 5 gets the chance to explain what they all need to do. Now, Klaus being the new number 7 member, Dago, Lila, 5, Klaus, Ben, Sloane, and trying. Who else? And Victor all had to stand on like 7 stars or something, which causes some sort of thing to happen. It kills the guard. Turns out that the hotel was something else. It's not real. It's a machine built in another dimension. Whoever built the Earth must have built the place. What's happened is, since Alison and Reginald made a deal together to find out what the deal is, she doesn't have to stand on one of them because it wouldn't have worked. Her deal would have been pointless. Now, as it's kind of happening, the machine, the thing that fuels the machine is the thing that caused them to be born, like the marigold or whatever you want to call it. So by that, by standing on that, it kind of extracts their powers, I think, source from them. And Alison kind of gets mad at this because it's hurting them, killing them. So what Alison does is kind of kill Reginald, which I guess she finds out about him being a robot or an alien. Now, here's interesting, right? On the machine thing, there was all these things Reginald had to do on it, but something happened, right? I think there was 7 boxes, right, that had to be filled in, like, these like, white things, right? Only 6 of them were, and I have a theory. So, the thing Reginald was probably supposed to do, push the button. Alison kills him. Alison says, "Do you trust me, Victor?" Alison pushes the red button. What this does is the next scene we get to, it shows Alison. It's kind of like season 3, episode 2. She's walking into like the house that Claire's in. This time, Claire's actually in the house, and they've kind of changed something. Raymond is the father of Claire instead of Patrick. So the deal was, if you help me reset the universe to see my wife again, you can see your husband and your kid again. Now, the six boxes that were filled in means there was 6 people left. 7 actually, if you count Luther, because he's back alive, and his body's been reset to where it was before the accident in season 1. 5, Ben, Luther, Klaus, Diego, Lila, and Victor, Mary's mom, are all standing there together. Sloane isn't. And I think, because Alison wasn't part of like standing in the boxes, Luther was dead, and that box didn't get filled in, that has something to do with it. We don't know what this means for Sloane, but she's probably still alive. Now, Luther kind of gets mad at 5 saying, "Where the hell is my wife?" and everything. 5 tries to blink away, but he can't. Diego can't kind of do all his knife tricks. Klaus can't summon ghosts. I know that's kind of normal for him because he was kind of on drugs, but not for all of season 3. He was sober. Diego gets his fingers back. 5 gets his hand back, and Klaus doesn't have any tattoos anymore. So they've lost all their powers. Luther goes away to try to find his wife. Klaus follows him. Ben disappears, and then it leaves everyone else. It leaves Lila, Diego, Victor, and 5. Lila has the idea to just live their lives. Diego goes with her, which leaves 5 and Victor. 5 just walks off somewhere. We don't know where, and Victor just looks at this head statue of the father, and then they all walk away. Then the new world that we see is kind of different. All the buildings, or most of them, have the word Hargreaves on it, which I'm guessing is a world run by Reginald himself, which is weird. We see Reginald and his wife Abigail are alive and on this building. Now, the real reason why Luther was sent up to the moon was because of Abigail's remains being there. Which explains why the real reason why the whole hotel thing didn't happen in season 1 is because 5 and Ben were gone, which would leave only 5 siblings, which wouldn't work. Which only leaves Luther, Diego, Alice, Klaus, and Vanya. Which I don't think would even work the machine if Vanya's powers weren't activated. So yeah, that is season 3. I've basically just told you pretty much nearly everything of it. We don't know if there's going to be a season 4. If there is, I kind of just hope it would explain, I don't know. We probably won't see everyone's powers that we know of in the show, but it would be cool to see some. I will probably make a video one day on my theories for season 4 and what I would like to see. But for now, I'm just going to go because, well, I can only record for an hour. Right, makes more interesting. So yeah, season 3 was a pretty good season. Wasn't the... I just wish Sparrows had more screen time and everything, and yeah, wish I wasn't killed off so easily. That's all. Wish to explain why Christopher was a cube and not a human. It's probably something to do with emissions from the Jennifer incident or something. I don't know. Catch you all later. See ya. Oh, I can record for more than an hour. This is kind of awkward, right? So, another thing I will say is, will we see that all of the sparrows return, and maybe, like Hazel, Jaja and everything, living normal lives? We don't know, but yeah. But yeah, I've explained the whole plot for Season 3 of EA, how there's a cool blitz in the first place, and yeah, this video does contain spoilers. Watch at your own risk. See you guys later. For next video will probably be on Season 4 of Umbrellas.